All right. So last time, the party had just managed to fight off some cultists and undead creatures, and had even taken a captive at the end of said battle in the shack where they first found Miles. Um, After the battle concluded, uh, they decided to make for one of the guard towers on the outer walls of the city in hopes of finding a more fortified, uh, well, just different place to spend the rest of the evening, uh, hoping to at least find a little bit of peace and quiet, enough to rest. Um, they made their way to a tower, and after scoping it out and securing the prisoner, um, things got a bit interesting, to say the least. Uh, he wasn't exactly cooperative, and an attempt at silencing him a little bit with a bit of a science experiment on Maya's part turned into accidental torture as a strong acid was poured down this guy's throat. And kind of seeing this and apparently deciding to roll with it, Togar and Trogdor adopted some questionable means of interrogating him. At the end of said interrogation, they were left with a dead cultist, and just as he had slumped down to the ground, Trogdor felt himself become separated from Bahamut for the first time in years since he took his vows. So, now with a how do I put this? A less powerful paladin, um, the party is wrapped up in what has become a sort of offensive on Drake's Landing. The morning after the torture incident, Togar managed to sneak out of the city and locate the 3rd Battalion of Ramsgate as they were closing quickly on the city. And after a brief discussion with their leader, managed to sort of coordinate a plan for hopefully reclaiming the city from the undead. The battalion will essentially storm the gates and try to keep the majority of the creatures busy as they, for some reason, are now still roaming in daylight, while the intrepid band of adventurers that we've been following sneaks in beyond the gates to the north that lead into the mountainside and eventually up to the mysterious castle that seems to have materialized around the same time this whole undead incursion started. So all of that having transpired last time, and the group having just been reunited and had a bit of a motivational pep talk from Togar, what are you guys doing?
Um, well, we should probably. This is like it's daytime, right? Now?
Yes.
We should probably head at least towards the inner city. Uh, because they're gonna make their approach. Or if we want to, we can head in towards them and kind of either follow or aid in their approach. There are a lot of guys out there.
We definitely need to sneak off and not get caught in the fray.
Why do you say
But
that?
Use them as a distraction so we can get to the cave. And stop this at the source.
Yeah, but we can help them get their foothold in the city first, and then, once they have their foothold in the city, at least we have a place to fall back to.
like we help them until they can help us.
Basically, yes. I'd feel much better with an army of 700 at my back than an army of undead at my back.
What if the undead were on your side?
Are they on our side?
Probably not.
Then I guess that's your answer.
All right. So as the battalion is kind of bearing down on the city, actually having breached the fields that surround the walled city of Drake's Landing now, being about halfway across toward the southern gate that Togar had used to venture back out and meet with them. What's the plan?
Can we see their approach from the top of our tower?
Yeah.
Well, do we want to watch and see how they make their approach and see how if we can maybe lend some aid to them getting across the field? And then we can coordinate with their, the general, Captain Strobath Leafbane. We can coordinate with him on getting into the inner city.
I mean, we can probably help now by doing ranged attacks.
Yeah.
Okay. So, how are you guys going to go about doing this?
I'm going to go up to the top of the wall and pull out my gun and just take aim.
Okay. Anybody else putting any, I don't know, effort into this?
I will throw my darts.
Okay. And the intent here is for everybody to stay on top of the wall for now?
Yeah.
Okay. What's the range on those darts?
20.
2060.
Okay, I mean, you could throw some. You might not hit a ton, but
I can hit some at disadvantage.
yeah, you can hit some.
Or if you want to go out, I can cover you.
I think there are too many for you to cover me.
Okay.
All right. So
I have a lot of darts. I bought them.
Okay. All right.
How many darts do you have?
Like 50.
Well, if you run out of darts, just feel free to grab some kunai off my belt. I have 37 of them, and they'll just keep coming back, so you can just throw them at your will.
I have 29 darts that I've marked down. I'm not sure if I marked down the ones I bought.
Okay.
I could be like a little ammo box. A walking ammo box. Just grab a kunai and throw it.
Alright.
I mean, I could just throw his kunai, too, and keep my darts.
Yeah, you could do that.
I look at the inside of the wall to see if there's any zombies near the entrance to where we came in, or if they're all gathered by the gate.
I mean, there are some kind of milling about the area. It doesn't seem that they're like, clustered around the door trying to like barge in and get to you or anything of that sort. But yeah, all the undead are pretty evenly distributed at this point. Having not gone back in, they've had time to really circulate around the city, and everything inside the walls is about equally patrolled, I guess you could say. and then everything outside the walls, at least that you can see from this side of the city, the undead seem to be converging pretty quickly on the loud marching troops that are bearing down on the gates.
Alright.
And what'll be nice is the troops will distract them, and my gunfire won't be as bad. And I'll look to Maya and say, Maya, you may want to guard the door. You and Trogdor are possibly guarding the door, in case we pull any aggro from any zombies nearby, because this does get loud.
I'll keep an eye out.
Okay.
I can't really do much anything anyways. I go down as well.
Well, you want to just guard the door and watch the door and make sure nothing tries to come in.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay. So I guess I'll wait until the first set of zombies start engaging with the troops. And I'm mainly looking for anybody who's looking a little worse for wear. I'm trying to turn the tables and take a good chunk out of the health of the zombie.
Okay.
So I'm kind of picking my shots carefully.
All right. And what is the range on your thunder cannon?
Enough. I think it's 500 or 600. It's 500.
And is that your first increment?
That's my sharpshooter increment.
Oh, that's right.
So
Nice.
yes, it's 150, 500, but it is for me 500.
Very nice.
I'm slinging kunai at the closest ones, so that they're the most accurate.
I kind of shift my belt over so that she can easily grab the kunai off my belt.
Okay. All right. So for the sake of kind of just getting through this from the mechanic standpoint, go ahead and each of you roll, let's call it 10 appropriate attacks for this.
So for me, would it be sneak attack, since I'm kind of trying to pick off things that are already...
Yeah, it would.
Okay.
What does a kunai roll?
A D4.
I think it's like a dagger, so it's a D4.
I'm with them, right?
Yeah.
You are.
That's what my dart is, so I'm just gonna roll darts.
There you go.
How many attacks?
10 if you're hopping in on this.
If you're doing Eldritch
20.
Blast, it'd be 20. Yeah. Okay. So you want to roll yours first, and then I'll roll mine?
Yeah.
We'd be that disadvantage.
How far away are they?
Isn't the wall itself like 30, 40 feet tall?
Yeah, the wall is like 40 feet.
How far away are we from the things?
At this point, they're a little more than halfway across the field, so I'd say somewhere in the neighborhood of 250 horizontal plus the 40-foot vertical. Well, not plus, but triangles and stuff.
Oh, triangles.
Yeah, no, that's fine. And I'll just assume you're carefully choosing the ones that are at least within your longer increment there, because it is 40 feet just down. So you're probably picking them off like as they're turning and noticing the troops, and they get a little bit distracted, and you just see the kunai come down. And
It's just raining kunai and...
yeah. All right. So whoever's next, I don't care if it's Lilith or there we go. Okay.
Alright.
I don't think Lilith would be disadvantage.
The range is 80 for my light crossbow. For Eldritch Blast, it's only 120.
Yeah. So I assume if you guys can, you're trying to hit the ones that are engaged, and in the case of having a range of 60, then you're doing what you can with what you got, basically.
And I'm over here just dropping fucking bombs on things.
Any damage, because it's gonna get there in any case.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you guys are doing pretty well here. So you managed to kind of soften up the waves of undead that are descending upon the battalion, and you do see. I mean, there are inevitably some casualties, but it definitely seems like you guys have made a pretty heavily positive impact on this. Um, Probably, if you had to guess, the undead versus humans killed, it's probably 4 or 5 to 1.
Okay.
All right, so then as the column of troops kind of closes on the gate and get to within 50 feet or so, all the while you guys just pummeling the creatures with your attacks. They do seem pretty capable of forcing their way through, and you see the one heavy metal gate that was partially ajar when Togar snuck his way out just gets blasted open by the flood of troops that are now pouring into the city. It would seem that probably the most difficult part of this battle has been won, as they've made it in and they've made it through the fields where they can be attacked from all sides. So immediately as they breach the gate, you see them kind of set up a perimeter and then just slowly work their way forward down the main street that runs north to south through town.
Do I see the captain at all? Because he was on a horseback, wasn't he?
Yes, he was, and he's still riding around trying to lop heads off of things when possible.
All right. I'm just keeping track of where he is, and when he starts heading into the city, I'm gonna flag him, wave, say, "Oi, up here!" Wave him down, and I'll say, "Well, come down. I'll introduce you to the rest of my group."
All right. I mean, it is still kind of a hectic battlefield scenario, as much as they've, as much progress as they've made in this short time. But yeah, so once the majority of the troops have made their way inside the gates, I guess would be the time when you'd probably notice the captain and do your best to flag him down. You probably don't get much more than a passing acknowledgement, as he's, busy doing military stuff.
Yeah, I'll just shout out to him. Once you pass the gates, meet me down below. I'll introduce you.
All right, and so are you guys gonna start making your way down?
Yeah, I'm just gonna hop off the edge and just Misty step down.
Okay.
I'll climb down the normal way.
Or wait, no,
Up the stairs.
We have a rope right there, don't we?
You do. It's currently hung on the other side, but it wouldn't be that big a deal to just,
It's on the inside, I thought,
kind
because
of flip it over.
we had it on the old. Oh, okay, it's on the yeah.
No, you used it on your entry.
And then I untied it, and I thought I tied it to the other side.
I think you just pulled it up and coiled it, but it's not a big deal. I mean, even, like, you might have to drop an extra 5 to 10 feet.
Okay, I'll just throw the rope down. I'll slide down the rope then.
Okay. Cool.
Save a spell.
Yeah. And I mean, you do have the guard tower right there as well, so it's not like there's any shortage of ways to get there. All right. So, anything anyone would like to do before leaving the tower and kind of joining up with the troops?
I changed my mind. I think sliding down the rope sounds fun.
Okay.
I'm flying down.
All right. And I guess Trogdor is just throwing the door open and charging out.
Yeah, I guess.
I'll yell down,
Okay.
Trogdor, we're all leaving.
What?
We're leaving the tower. The
Oh,
troops
I thought you
have
said to
come.
leave me.
No, I yelled down to you, Trogdor, we're leaving.
Alright, I'll push the empty armor racks and whatnot out in front of the table. or not the table, the door, and then head out and yell out, "Wait for me! I'm slow. Armor's heavy."
Oh, shut up. You're just as slow as I am.
All right. So yeah, you are able to, with minimal trouble, make it to the troops, and as soon as the captain sees you, he does make at least some effort to kind of pull back a bit from the front lines and meet with you.
I say, oh, long time no see. We saw you making your approach and figured we'd be better aid to you from up above the wall. These are my companions, and I'll point to Maya and say, "This is Maya. She's our resident face puncher."
I give a little wave.
Point over towards Trogdor and say, "This is Trogdor. Well, he's our punching bag. He's the one that usually draws the trouble." I look around and I say, "Where'd Bungdo? Oh, there he is." I'll point around and see, "There's Bungdo." He's
You just see Bungo like chucking little fireballs at the zombies. Still,
he's a little off his nut, but he's handy to have around. And then I look around. Did you said you flew down, Lilith?
Yeah.
Are you still in bird form, or are you back to?
No, I turn back to a person.
Okay, I'll say, oh, there's Lilith. That's Lilith. We just kind of met up with her fairly recently. So.
right, and he again eager to kind of get back into the fray. Acknowledges all of you and introduces himself as Captain Strelbeth Leafbane of the 3rd Battalion of Ramsgate. And he just says, well, what are you still doing here? I thought the plan was to move on this cave or castle or whatever this is that has just appeared in the mountain face.
Well, we have a little bit of new information. We captured one of the cultists, and taking prisoners is not an option. They're thoroughly out of their mind. Even through some questionable questioning, he wouldn't tell us anything. So, I would say definitely aim to kill for any of the beasts or people that are walking around, the cultists that are walking around.
Never was much of an interrogator anyway, but thank you for the advice.
That being said, where would we be best to aid you guys in getting a foothold in the city? Because I'd much rather have 700 troops behind me than a whole town full of zombies behind me when we're storming the castle.
Well, we are specialized in urban combat situations, and given that the mental capacity of these enemies doesn't seem to be all that much, I would say that now that we've breached the gates, we have quite the tactical advantage.
Okay. Should we follow? Or do you have any troops that are going to be heading directly towards the castle that we could follow and possibly aid in getting there faster? Just so we're not using up all of our power and all of our abilities and getting there.
I think the smart play is to gradually progress through the city rather than having any body of our troops rush in and potentially be cut off from the battalion itself. The whole idea behind splitting up and, your band of adventurers sneaking in the back was that we're able to draw everything and so hopefully assist you in making a clean entry into this place.
Okay. You are captain for a reason, so you guys are going to be taking this road, and I point down like the main road that they just came in on. You guys are going to be heading this way, correct?
Indeed, we will. And if your directions are accurate, I believe that should have us eventually making our way to the mountain face as well.
Yes. All right, we will head. So they're going south, right?
They're coming from the south,
From the
so they're
south.
going north.
All right, we will head. I guess we'll head to the west. There's roads that way too, right?
Yeah.
So I'll say we'll head west and then head north, and kind of try to circumvent the majority of the fighting if we can. Then, and then if you guys want to branch out to the east and sweep your way over, we will try to sneak our way into the castle.
Sounds like a winning proposition.
All right. I look back to the rest of the group. You guys okay with this?
Sounds good.
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
May we meet in the castle. And I that was what I said to the captain.
Mhm.
Can I give him a bow and say, all right, let's head off.
All right. So, the intention here is just sneak off to the west a little bit and just work around the kind of main battlefront that's kind of established now.
Yep.
Okay. I guess let's go ahead and make a group stealth check. So everybody. Actually, no, I can do that for you. That's easy.
I will take the lead by about 20 feet, 30 feet or so, using the same mage hand method I did before.
Okay.
So just have it kind of floating, basically there saying stop or, motioning to come. So.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here.
Out of curiosity, whether we succeed or not, can I know how shitty of a roll I got?
You rolled a 1.
Alright, so let's see.
I probably rolled a 1.
And yet somehow still has the highest stealth of us all.
It
Yep.
would be a 10.
Do not underestimate how miserable we can roll.
No, I'm saying I can't roll below a 10 because I have a +9.
Okay. Yeah, you break off to the west toward the port, and you reach part of the city that you recognize from your first visit here. This is near the Krusty Mud Crab Inn and the harbor master's office, and there are a number of undead still kind of milling about here. It's decidedly less dense than probably even an hour or two ago, as a number of them do seem to be drawn to the noise along the main street near the gates. But there are still enough to kind of pose a threat. So how is everybody, I guess narratively, how are you guys sneaking around all this?
Yep, going behind the group.
Yeah, I'm basically kind of peeking around every corner, around every building corner, and kind of trying to take a gauge of what the best path is to take.
I'll follow Togar and just generally hide around corners and in doorways until his mage hand motions us forward, kind of just lead the group that way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting on Togar's shoulder.
What? Oh, as a bird.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And Trogdor's just kind of clunking along behind.
He's
Open
kind of
it.
like our bait. If anything goes wrong, they'll attack him, and then we can all just converge and beat the shit out of whatever it is.
There you go. Okay. So, yeah, you're kind of sneaking from alleyway to alleyway in door frames and windows and whatever else you have to use to maintain cover. You, at one point, reach the street that runs just along the port itself, and you see the havoc that must have ensued when the undead attacks first started. Overturned food vendors and uh, just ruined containers everywhere. And still milling about are these shambling undead. And yeah, so carefully, slowly, you make your way about halfway there. And at one point around there, Trogdor, you go to kind of tiptoe around a corner and slip in maybe some kind of rotten fruit that's just begun to kind of decompose on the ground, and there's a loud clang as you fall down to the ground. You hear a number of kind of gurgling moans from just around the corner.
Can I take my rock and just throw it like the opposite direction?
Yeah.
Like I'm just gonna whip it at like a building off in the distance. Like at the
Okay.
preferably if I can see a window, I'm gonna like throw it through a window. Make as much noise
Okay,
as I
like
can.
shatter some glass and. Okay.
Can I turtle up in my giant armor and just hold my arms in heaven?
You could certainly try. Okay, so yeah, Togar throws the rock and nails a window, and you just hear the glass come sprinkling down to the ground. And as you do that, you hear a similar kind of array of just. And it sounds as though you've created enough of a distraction to get out of this whole thing unscathed.
I breathe a sigh of relief and will the rock to come back to my belt. And I'll will it back to my hand and I'll give it a kiss and then put it back in my pocket.
All right.
When I feel it's safe, my arms and head poke back out.
Okay.
All you see is the mage hand just do like the no finger.
Okay. So you continue on, kind of tracing the port as you make your way north toward the face of the mountain. Before too long, you reach another familiar sight. You come up on the intersection where the stockade is located. And this time you don't see any cultists or humanoids really of any sort leaning against the walls outside or anything like that. It all seems pretty desolate, almost as though no one's returned here since you hit the place yesterday. There are still a number of the kind of desiccated corpses of the creatures you killed here, with the help of some handy prop use. Yeah, so you reach the familiar street that you know leads pretty close to the main road. It'll converge probably not more than a few blocks from the gates on the face of the mountain. So you could either take this road in, or you could keep pushing a little further north before you cut over.
What's further north? Just the wall?
I mean, a few other, side streets, alleys. You haven't actually been to this part of town, so you're not sure, like, exactly, but...
If I look down the main road, what is it? Carnage and stuff, or is it just pretty open?
It looks pretty open. You don't see any active fighting going on. Every once in a while, you see a figure or two just kind of walk across your field of view, kind of headed south. So you get the impression the troops are doing their job and pulling a lot of these things.
So I will motion for the group to come. I'm gonna step it just into like the nearest alley and motion for the rest of the group to come. And I'll just say, do you guys think we should have maybe Trogdor and anybody else go down an alley, and then the rest of us can sneak down the main one just off? I think it might be better for, notice standpoints if if Trogdor's not out in the open.
Oh, I'm not sure I understand what you're saying.
From what I gather, he wants to send the loud, clanky guy down a side alley.
Well, not just him. Maybe send him and maybe one other to keep watch, and if something gets hairy, you can let the rest of us know.
Wait, what are they watching for? Where we go? Like, are we going towards the caves?
I'm just saying, have him take a side alley, and the rest of us that are actually able to sneak can sneak down the main alley, like the main road.
Are we meeting up with? Are we just leaving him behind?
No.
Like, I feel like we're not on top of each other. That we're all 10 feet away from each other, kind of.
Well,
sneaking.
Yeah, and I'm guessing these alleys are probably not, the houses are not too big. It's probably like a 10, 15, 20 foot difference between us and there. I'm just saying have him walk down the alley where he's not going to get seen. Or if he does, he can act like a trash can.
I mean, what... I don't understand. I mean, we don't have to... I'm really confused. I have no idea where...
Okay, let's all just go down the alley. I will lead everybody down the alleyway.
Let's go.
Okay. So yeah, you're staying off kind of the familiar road and continuing north down a kind of side alley. All right. Let's see. All right, and as you make your way through, probably not more than two at a time, as it is pretty cramped, you can still hear the kind of offbeat footfalls of the creatures all around. Every once in a while, you hear a more purposeful running go by, mostly all converging toward that main road that runs north and south through town, and then to the south once again. So yeah, at this point, you're able to make it to essentially one intersection down from where the large gates are kind of imposed into the face of the mountain. It's kind of just overgrown this part of the city. Looking around here, you do see that there are still a good... Whoa, what's happening?
You just got echoed of
Alex.
yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Laura's headset disconnected, I guess.
For no reason at all, because like I didn't touch the the.
Rip.
All right.
Possessed by Orcus.
No.
It just wants you to be heard.
Yep. Okay. So, looking around here, you see that there are still a number of the undead that haven't been drawn by the soldiers to the south, as they probably haven't made it quite far enough in to lure absolutely everything in town yet. You also see, probably closest to you, a single hooded figure leaning against a wall, seemingly just surveying this whole scene. At this point, he would be kind of in the other side alley that you've now kind of ventured into as you go to converge with that north-south road. And he or she does not seem to have noticed your presence yet.
They have their back to us.
Yeah.
Are they dressed in a similar fashion as the cultists?
Pretty similar, yeah.
Your worries that it's a Vodak, and we're gonna turn it around, and it's just gonna look us dead in the eye.
No.
Do the cloaks look like the cloak I'm wearing?
Yeah, kinda.
Because I stole Vinka's.
All right. I'm going to just hand motion for Maya to come up behind me. And with Mage Hand, Mage Hand's going to blink out into being transparent. And I'm going to sneak probably 5-10 feet away. And I'm going to use my Mage Hand to cover their mouth. And then I'm going to run up and try to grab them. And motion for Maya to follow. And like kind of try to pull them back into the alley.
Maya grabs a bit of rope out of the pack.
Okay. All right. So let me make a couple of checks here.
I want Maya to follow in case I fuck up.
Okay. All right. So, so you're both kind of just converging on the cultists here. The two of you sneaking up, and the rest of the party kind of sitting back.
Yes.
All right.
And whatever Bliss is doing.
Yeah, if Lilith wants to come too, that's fine.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
Shama
yeah.
come.
Oh, well, Lilith's on my shoulder still, aren't you? Or no?
What? I thought I'd turn back for some reason. Maybe I didn't.
I don't think you'd said it, but if you want to, you can.
Yeah, I will if we're gonna be attacking people.
Okay.
Okay, and then are you joining Togar and Maya, approaching the whoever this is that has their back to you, or are you gonna hang back with Bungdo and Trogdor?
I will approach and not be within 5 feet of them.
Okay. All right.
Approach when the guy is apprehended.
So, all right. So I'm guessing the marching order here is like Togar, Maya, Lilith.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, Togar, you make your approach and you kind of blink your mage hand out of visibility, and as you are just about to place the hand over this person's mouth, you hear a thud behind you as Maya has slipped in some snow and fallen on her behind with a
What
roll
an
of
idiot.
2.
I still have that bruise.
I
um,
turn and glare at Maya.
yeah, and at this point,
Why are you turning from behind me?
Because shut up!
the hooded figure turns around, and you see it's another humanoid, hard to tell, probably elf or human, something like that, mostly shrouded with this dark hood, and immediately begins to point at you and utter something under his breath, just
Can
kind
I
of
still
pointing
slap
down the hallway.
Can I still slap Mage Hand over his fit mouth?
Give me a, let's
Steady
call it
hand?
an initiative roll to see if you can, get on that in time.
Yep.
All right, so he turns around and raises a hand, kind of pointing at you, and just begins to say something. It's like,
And I'll just kind of give him the dwarven finger wag and say, mm-mm. And I would like to try to close the distance with him.
Okay. All right, I would say you could do that.
Okay. So.
Counterspell by Mage Hand.
Can't cast a spell if you can't talk, bitch.
Okay, so you close the distance, and what do you do from there?
Is he taken aback by the fact that I covered his mouth with Mage Hand?
He is kind of looking at you wide-eyed, like, oh shit.
I'm just gonna run up to him and try to just, I guess, grapple him and pull him back into the alley.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an athletics check. Okay, and with that, he gives you the palm strike to the shoulder and just knocks you back. Still with a mage hand over his mouth, but you're not able to get a good hold on him. And he reaches down to his belt for a dagger that you can see.
When he's smacking Togar, can I punch him back? Gut punch.
Sure.
Try and knock the wind out of him.
Yeah, go ahead and roll an attack.
Blasted a hole into him.
Okay. Yeah, that's a pretty nasty punch. Yeah, and he's still muffled, and you just hear. And I would say that's enough to at least kind of slow his progress. He's kind of knocked, not dizzy or about to faint or anything, but stunned for a second to the point where he's not able to just reach down and produce the dagger.
Do I
Okay.
still have a bonus action, technically, or no?
We're kind of freeforming this, but yeah, go ahead. What do you got?
I'm going to pull a dagger out, Misty step behind him, and I'm not going to stab him, I'm just going to put it up against his back. And I'm going to say, you better be very quiet.
Okay. And yeah, slowly you just see his hands kind of go up. He's not saying anything.
That's fine. So. And at this point, I look at Maya with a, what the fuck do we do now? Look.
Weren't we gonna kill this guy?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if he's a cultist. I don't know what he is.
Isn't he wearing a cultist robe?
Yeah, who would wear a cultist robe?
Yeah.
Yeah, who would do something stupid like that? Okay, so I walk over to him. I pull my dagger out and I just shove it in his throat.
What? Oh,
No mercy. All right.
all right.
So clearly kind of jealous of the rest of the group that she didn't get in on the torture last night. She walks over to this more or less detained individual and just jams a dagger into his throat.
I I look at Maya, I'm like, what?
I wipe the blood off on his cloak.
The cultist cloak or Togar's cloak?
The cultist cloak. And I just put it away.
My
I just whisper to Togar that I'm like, it was cultist.
But
Not
he's-
sure what you were planning on doing.
Alright, let's go.
my mouth's agape, even though I've
Yeah.
done just as bad earlier.
Yeah, I'm like standing there, just my dagger is still just hovering in air where its back was, and I'm just fucking speechless. I'm like,
Is there somewhere we can pull him so that no one will find him?
Yeah, I mean, you could probably tuck him behind some busted crates and kind of just general rubbish strewn about the alleyway.
You
I
see me
grab
thro-
his cloak.
oh god.
I grab his cloak and start pulling him.
At this point, you see me kind of recover and throw my arms out wide and go, "What the fuck?" I don't yell, but it's just like, a loud whisper of like,
Yeah, like overly gesturing and
Yes.
looking like you're screaming, but
Yes.
not letting any sound out.
yes.
Maya looks really confused at Togar because she really has no idea what he was planning on doing besides just killing him. Togar is just really confusing today, and Maya doesn't know like what happened in between him heading out that suddenly makes his action so ununderstandable.
I just kind of sigh, and I'll help them track the body. And I'll also search the pockets.
Of course.
I mean, I'm
Waste
taking that
not
dagger.
and all that.
I'm so bad for killing him, but you're gonna steal from him.
Well, you
I'll
already
take his
killed him.
cloak and stuff it in the bag of holding.
His cloak has a lot of blood on it.
It kind of does.
What color is the cloak?
It's black.
Okay. It's a good thing about black, it doesn't show blood.
I just gesture at the cloak. I could clean that for you later.
I'm still, like, I just kind of facepalm at this point. I don't even know.
I'm sorry, did you want to kill him?
No. No,
What's
I
the
was,
problem?
he didn't act like that other one did. That other guy last night was very, and this is a stage whisper, I'm just not going to whisper because it's not going to pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
But the guy last night seemed wholeheartedly 100% to believe everything. This guy did not. This guy seemed like he was a little more sensible.
From what?
Well, the guy last night he was trying to get away. He didn't surrender. He didn't act like he was surrendering anything. This guy at least showed a speck of humanity left.
This guy really didn't have an opportunity to do anything. Like, this happened in, like, 15 seconds.
I look down at the corpse, feeling guilt-stricken at what I did earlier.
Maya's just looking at Lilith. Like, Togar is crazy. No.
As you're sharing this kind of look, you hear a little as a torn scrap of paper kind of flutters to the ground from the robe that you collected.
I'll pick it up.
Snatch it up.
Oh, you can pick it up then.
Okay. Opening it up, taking a quick look at it, or really not even having to open it up, it's a small little scrap. It looks like a picture of a rock, inside of which are the letters R, L, R, L, 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 L.
Oh, out of character, I think I know what that is.
So what does it say?
RARLLLLL.
um. Is it like? Does it look like it's spaced out, like it's almost directions?
Possibly.
What would the A be?
There's no A.
It's RL.
Then I misheard you.
You did. I look at Lilith and I say, are we sure this guy was a cultist?
Ooh.
He might just get lost. Like, there's lots of tunnels.
I search his body for any kind of identification.
You don't find any state IDs or anything.
Does he have a wicked dagger?
Cool idea.
Nope. He does have a wicked-looking dagger, and there is a twisted iron symbol dangling from a cord around his neck.
Is it the symbol of Orcus?
It's pretty similar to the symbol of Orcus.
I breathe a huge sigh of relief. I go, okay, no, he was a shitbag. Alright.
Okay, so I take the symbol and then I do create bonfire underneath the body.
Well, wait. No coin purse.
What?
Coin purse.
I search his body. You don't have anything on him.
Yeah, no, there was no money of any sort there.
I'm gonna check in his boot.
It's on fire.
Would I have to make some kind of
I'll mage hand it.
intelligence check or anything to know that the RLRLLL is basically directions to guide us?
Probably not. I mean, it's pretty simple, I would think, to figure out.
Okay.
That's a book author. RL. RL.
It's not RA.
Nope, it's R.L. Stein. What's with the rock, though? Like, you said it's inside of a rock-looking symbol?
Yeah. All these letters are written inside of what looks like a picture of a rock.
Could represent the mountain the cave came out of. Or was.
Should I do like a check, maybe a history check, to see if I know what that is?
Sure.
7?
No idea.
Okay, well, it's not even noon yet. We've already committed murder, so cool. I guess we should just head inside. You said there were still like some undead milling about.
Yeah, none of them seem to have noticed you up until this point, or well, yet, like, not at all.
Okay.
So yeah, you're at this point kind of at the end of the alleyway, and you can see probably 3 or 4 of them in this kind of wreckage of what was once a residential neighborhood. You can see the mountain itself seems to have risen up out of the ground and just leveled all of the existing structures here to make room for itself. And there's this massive stone gate that now stands kind of in the middle of this neighborhood.
I'll look back to Maya. That wasn't here last time we were here, was it?
I don't remember it.
Okay.
I hand Togar the note. If I need to be a bird, I don't want to have this on me.
Oh, okay. I take a look at it, memorize it, then I'll hand it to Maya and say, I probably shouldn't have this on me either. You want to just stick it in the bag of holding?
Why don't you want it?
Sure, I'll put it in the bag of holding.
Because it's R, L, R, and then a bunch of L's. So we just it's pretty easy to remember.
Okay.
And I don't want it because I tend to get up and, well, sometimes tend to get up close and personal and get covered in blood. So if it's in the bag of holding, it's safe. Ish.
And now it's gonna take an action to look at it. Says Lilith in character.
Is there a piece of charcoal nearby?
I mean, kind of. Like, there's a lot of charred stuff, so sure.
Alright, I will pick it up and walk over to Trogdor and write R-L-R-L-L-L-L on his armor.
You cannot see it because my armor is black.
There is that.
Take the rock and scratch on it, it'll be white.
I can't do that.
Scratch up his armor?
Yes.
Why do we need it on one of us?
I don't know, you gave it to me.
I can hold on to it.
Oh, it's just so like
I give you
someone
the
could
charcoal.
Have it.
I give Trogdor the piece of charcoal to hold on to and I walk away.
I put the piece of charcoal away, I guess.
The charcoal that we found on the ground.
I pick up a piece of charcoal, walk over and scribble something on his armor, then hand it to him and walk away, and he just kind of looks at it, shrugs, and puts it in his pocket.
I could use it for
Awesome.
later, maybe.
Well, I know, it's just funny. I'll just look at Lilith and say, I got it.
Alright, what is it, really quick?
R-L, R-L, L-L, L-L.
You were reading it, you cheater.
No, I'm not. I actually closed my eyes and was reciting it.
Alright, let's go.
R-L, R-L, and then 4 L's.
Real life, 4 lives.
There you go. I'll say, you guys want me to try to distract the, undead?
How many are there?
3, 4, something like that.
Oh, I was thinking there were a bunch.
No. I mean, or we can fight them, I don't care.
Hang on a minute. I can just distract them with thaumaturgy.
That works.
Okay.
Wait, if you cast Thaumaturgy on my rock and made anything the noise that it made louder, would it make a breaking glass louder?
Voices.
Oh, is it just voices?
Yeah.
Ah.
It's like I can just create a sound separate from your rock.
Oh. Go for it.
Okay, so are we near a window?
Yeah, I mean, like, across the way from where you are, there are a few intact, semi-intact buildings. You could probably find a pane of glass in there somewhere.
Okay, so yeah, from over there it sounds like a big old glass window just broke. And something fell inside of it. Like a table fell over.
Okay. All right, and yeah, the undead all just kind of turn that way. One of them you can see kind of like cock its head, and they begin to slowly wander in that direction.
Becca's pretending to be a zombie.
Yeah, kinda.
Is there an alleyway the other side? Like, is there another alley facing this area?
Yeah, like directly across what would be the street.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is there a hooded figure over there?
Make a perception check.
Okay. Nope. Alright, I'm gonna just stealthily head up to the gate and inspect it.
20 for my perception check.
Okay. Yeah, you don't see anybody over there.
No one to kill.
Okay, and Togar, you said you're walking up and checking out the gate.
I am not going to touch it. I'm going to look at it and see. First of all, I would like to, I guess, see if it looks like it's locked.
Hard to say.
Does it have a
doesn't
lock
seem
on
to
it?
have any. It doesn't have any outwardly visible locking mechanisms, at least on first look. And each door stands about 15 feet tall and seems to be carved of stone.
All right, I'm going to take a step back, well, about 30 feet to be exact, and I'm going to summon Mage Hand and reach out and just poke the door with Mage Hand.
Okay. You kind of feel it through the mage hand. You can sense the poke, and there's no response.
Nothing?
Seems to happen.
All right. I'm going to put the Mage Hand flat against the door then.
Okay. And you do that, and yeah,
All right.
nothing.
I will. I'm gonna slide the Mage Hand down to kind of like the middle of the door and give it just a little push. See if I can push it.
As he does that, I use thaumaturgy to try to fling it open.
Oh, you're terrible.
All right. Yeah. So you try to give it that little push, and I mean, mage hand isn't exactly the strongest means
No.
of pushing stuff, and it's a 15-foot stone gate, so probably not.
Fair enough. I just wanted to see if I could see a little give at all or anything.
Not really.
Okay.
We didn't get to yours yet. Let me check something.
Oh boy. Oh brother.
Let's see here. Yeah, I mean, this is an unlocked door, so yeah, you hear this grinding of stone on stone as one of the doors of the gate just whoosh,
I
flies open.
I jump about 2 feet in the air and turn and just start sprinting back into the alleyway. Triple dashing, or double dashing rather.
Yeah.
I'm getting ready for a fight.
Lilith cackles with laughter.
I am just hauling ass, not even looking behind me. I get about halfway down the alley before I go, wait a second, why was Lilith laughing? Son of a bitch! I turn around and I start hauling ass back towards the group. And I get up to Lilith and I'm like, that was not funny.
Maya, do you think it was funny?
Maya doesn't know how to react to this because she's still prepared for things to come pouring out of the door.
I'm like leaning over, I like take a seat to try to catch my breath for a second.
You okay, Togar?
That scared the shit out of me.
I just pat him on the shoulder.
If nothing pours out, Maya gives out a small chuckle.
I kind of give like my best impression of Bungdo Stinkai and I go, that was kind of funny.
I
But-
knew you'd come around.
It still scared the shit out of me. Alright, well. And I look back, is Bungdo just rolling on the ground laughing?
He's trying to stifle himself, but yeah, you just see him like kind of beat red behind the hand over the mouth.
Oh, let it out! I just look at Bungdo and just say, let it out!
His eyes narrow. He just immediately stops laughing and his eyes narrow at you.
That works too.
Okay.
So, after I catch my breath, I would like to just stealthily walk up to the edge of the one that's not open and peek around it and see what I see.
Okay. Let's see here.
I didn't see any like runes or anything on the floor, right?
What, like on the way up, you mean?
Yeah, there's like no arcane runes right outside the door.
Yeah, you didn't see anything.
Okay.
So let's see. Let us see what you can see.
I see nothing.
All right. So really, as far as your eyes can pierce into the darkness beyond these gates, you just see a long, natural cavernous corridor kind of stretching out from the gates deeper into the mountain. You can see the walls on either side, left and right, but it seems to go in so far that your vision can't reach the back of whatever this is.
So I'm gonna dig into my dwarven roots a little bit. Do I recognize this stone as being the same stone as what like the mountain was that we went into north of this city?
I would say you probably don't even need to make a check to know that it's the same. This is basically the same mountain, just a different part of it. So yeah, it does seem largely similar as far as like composition of the stone. Yeah.
Okay. Just so that I know it's not like some unnatural, not like man-made mountain. I mean,
No,
other
it
than the fact that
seems-
it raised out of nothing, but
Yeah, it seems about as natural as things get, at least when they rise up out of the ground in the middle of a populated area.
all right. I will mage hand and motion everybody to come forward, and join me at the gate.
I join you at the gate.
I'm being super cautious, and I join.
Okay.
And I'll say, as far as I can see, it's just a tunnel going in. It looks to be natural.
Can I see anything down it? Because I have superior dark vision.
Let's see.
The Devil's Sight?
No, just the drow one.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, they can see like way far.
Yes.
Is-
Let's see. Push to talk. You can see just beyond where you think, Togar's normal dark vision would kind of begin to wane. The walls on either side kind of give way, and you just see kind of a large open chamber. You really can't see anything in terms of like a back wall yet. You can just see that the hallway kind of opens up into something. But there doesn't appear to be anything inside, at least that you can see.
Alright, let's explore that chamber.
I'll say, well, do you want me to have my mage hand go ahead just in case?
Couldn't hurt.
All right, I will put my mage hand 30 feet out in front, and I'll run it basically like it along the ground, like just kind of finger walking along the ground. Trying to anything on the ground that like any traps on the ground, I want to trigger it with mage hand.
I assume that last session I summoned my raven back.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna send that like 100 feet ahead of me. I can see 120 feet, so I'll be able to see the raven still.
Okay. Yeah, so you summon the ravens, and it's about 100 feet up, forward, I should say. And, yeah, I mean, it seems to be there, and you don't see anything lunging out at it or anything.
What do I see through it though? Can it see anything, or can we just not see because we're too far away?
That is a good question. Let's see here. I would say you probably aren't able to see much. Like maybe you have kind of a low grade dark vision with the raven, as they are, Yeah, okay. So essentially, what you can see is what would be your left as you're looking down the corridor. There's kind of a moderate indentation in the wall, but you can make out cavern walls all through that area. Everything off to your right is just an open expanse of cavern.
Guys, this is a big ass cavern.
Well, you'd be pretty comfortable down here, wouldn't you?
I do like it.
I must say I do like having something above my head as well.
I fly the raven above your head.
That thing better not poop on me.
My raven doesn't poop.
Good.
He forcefully makes the raven poop on you just for saying that.
I look up at it a couple times just to make sure it's not going to poop at me. Or poop on me.
Poop at you.
Yes.
I don't
mean,
know why that
that's
sounds
not-
so much worse.
I just want to try to dodge away if it does.
Okay.
Evasion.
All right.
I've just found out that a raven can mimic things like a baby crying. That's super creepy.
Yeah. Ravens can mimic a lot of stuff. They're cool. So, alright.
Okay. So, what's the plan?
I'll continue leading the way with Mage Hand.
Okay. So, yeah, you all walk for a little over 60 feet down this corridor. And, well, those of you that don't have dark vision, you kind of have to, like, have a hand on somebody's back.
I will do.
Because it is pitch black in here.
Okay. I have a hand on Lilith's back because
Okay.
Togar is too short.
I cast light, but
You what?
He would
He
cast
said
light,
he
but
would.
can't.
Oh, good.
All right. So yeah, those of you who have some level of dark vision, you see it now kind of open up, and as you enter this larger chamber, you can see, as you kind of make a gentle right into the chamber, there is a kind of split in the path. There is something reaching off to your left, something dead ahead, something off to your right.
You say something. You mean
Like-
the path?
A path,
Okay.
yeah, some reach of this cavern that kind of just goes out of sight that you can't really make out from here.
If only we had a map or a note of some kind to tell us
Indeed.
where to go.
Well,
let's go right.
Yes. As I say, I'm gonna head to the right.
Okay. Let's see here.
Again, still using Mage Hand up ahead.
Okay.
I'm also actively looking for traps, like on the walls.
Okay.
So,
I'm gonna keep sending the raven about like 60 feet ahead of us.
All right. So as you kind of begin heading off toward that rightmost branch of the cavern, let's see. Yeah, you can all hear what sounds like a gentle sobbing from that direction. First one, then two, then more voices just crying. Nothing to be seen yet, but you can just hear those sounds kind of echoing from deeper down that direction in the cave.
There's people ahead. We need to save them.
shut up back there.
I'm gonna turn on detect magic.
Okay. What's the range on that? Or
Hang
the
on 1 second.
Oh, I have that too.
I don't have to use a spell slot for it though.
Okay, you use that then.
One
Sir.
millimeter.
It's 30, I
What?
think.
30. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, at this point, you are not picking up on anything. You hear just that sobbing from down the corridor. A number of voices. They all sound female.
I'm gonna kind of stay side by side with Lilith.
I put my arm on your shoulder.
Cool.
Okay. I'll send the Raven out the full 100 feet to see if she can see anyone.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, so at that point you can just barely make out. Let's see. And there you would see three look to be kind of wispy, semi-transparent figures, all of which look to be females, with their hands over their faces, just as though they are crying into their hands. And they just seem to be kind of hovering there.
Like, above the ground.
Just by a few inches.
Hey guys, I think there might be ghosts in here.
What?
There are women up there, crying, who are see-through.
Have I ever heard of anything like this?
I mean, ghosts aren't by any means the most outlandish thing anyone would have heard of, so
No,
probably
but I
heard.
mean, like, adventures-wise, when I was working on armor or anything like that.
I mean, you've certainly heard stories of people fighting all kinds of undead, whether they're corporeal or not.
I haven't heard anything specifically of, like, crying women.
That one you'd probably have to make a history check for.
Okay, I can do that.
Yeah, not really.
Okay.
I feel like crying ghosts aren't that unusual.
No, crying ghosts aren't, but a bunch of crying women ghosts are. It's an equal opportunity spooky encounter, alright?
Alright, you guys want to creep forward?
Sure. With that, I will draw my magical dagger out
Okay.
and just kind of have it prepared.
And knowing that the Raven saw all this from about 100 feet ahead of where you currently are, how far do you want to head up?
I'm gonna head up till I can see him.
Okay, and for you that's 60?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yes.
So I'll go up 60 feet too then.
Alright.
My hand is on Dogar's shoulder following him.
You're bending way down.
Maya was on my shoulder, so.
Okay. So yeah, you make your way forward, and those of you with 60-foot dark vision can just barely make out at the edge of your range this kind of hunched, sobbing figure, seemingly floating a few inches over the stone cavern floor.
Do I see
Touch
like
her
a
with your mage hand.
I gotta get closer. I
Am I
think.
able to see like just a very dim glow in the area where they're at?
Yeah, it's 7 feet.
No, there doesn't seem to be any light emanating from these beings.
Can they
Do
see them, though?
I-
Like, could Trogdor still see it? Or is he just hearing crying?
He's just hearing crying in pitch blackness because you've now rounded the corner that would have led to the gate. So there's no light source here whatsoever.
Okay, yeah, I guess I'll sneak very slowly an extra 30 feet to get within 30 feet of them, and would like to make my mage hand invisible and reach up and try to poke one.
Touch it on the butt.
No, I'm just gonna reach up and like kind of poke it in the shoulder. No butt touching.
Okay. So you move up. And kind of at least attempting to at least give yourself a bit of cover. You're kind of at a point where you can just barely peek around the stone and get a glimpse of this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And as you kind of just prepare to settle in and use your mage hand, the closest one, you can now make out multiple figures. From where you're standing, you can see a second one to your left, kind of the leftmost cavern wall of this branch of the path. But as you finish there and prepare to use your mage hand, the nearest one just snaps its gaze up towards you and lets out a scream.
Right.
Just piercing, screaming, bloody murder. Almost have to cover your ears kind of scream.
I cast silence.
Okay, what's the range?
Oh, stop asking me the range of things.
Trogdor screaming like a little girl because he can't see anything.
Yeah, you're just walking around in the dark and you hear, "Ah!"
It's 120 feet and a 20-foot radius centered on the one that started screaming.
Okay.
Maya flinches almost imperceptibly.
Almost.
Casting a spell that includes a verbal component is impossible there. No spells for these ghosts.
No screams for these ghosts.
But more importantly, no spells.
I mean, I guess it depends.
That means no spells for me either.
Well, they can't hear us.
In that range.
Yeah. So, like, you can still cast spells, they just won't hear you casting it.
Okay.
Just don't get within 20 feet of them.
Oh, okay. Cool. So they instantly shut up then? Or at least that one does?
I mean, pretty much. Yeah, so you see the mouth open and there's this beginning of a piercing scream, but it's cut short. You see the mouth still hanging open, glowing eyes staring at you, but everything just kind of goes silent as the scream echoes and dies throughout the cave. I suppose at this point,
Initiative.
it's time to roll some initiative.
Yeah.
We
Don't
can't
get too far ahead.
roll and talk to the ghosts.
Can you tell me a little bit about what I missed while Sadie was meandering?
Trogdor screamed like a little girl.
Yeah.
Okay.
We encountered some screaming ghostly women. And Trogdor.
How many?
Lilith was able to make out 3 through the eyes of her raven.
Okay, cool.
Since I'm within 30 feet of it now, can I make out more, or I know there are 3?
Well, is your vision working on the map?
Oh, there
It's
we are.
black.
It's
Where's
bottom
the map?
right, bottom left-hand corner.
Yep, working as intended. I just see my character in a bunch of black.
Yep. It's a big map.
All right, Maya. Enough with the nat
Very
20.
big
Oh, never mind. I can't talk shit.
Alright, Toga, enough with the nat 20.
I always will.
Oh!
Typical Trogdor. That is perfect.
Well, we'll say he's like paralyzed with fear till the very last second.
Why is Togar so far away?
I
Because he
stepped
snuck
ahead
up to
use Mage Hand.
yeah.
Oh, I was going with them.
Sure.
Well, wait, you're taking everybody then.
I'm taking everybody.
Well, yeah, because Maya was grabbing onto you.
I was grabbing onto you.
All right. Well, I guess we can make
Okay.
this close quarters.
Unless you left me behind.
No. I mean, you can grab Bungdo. He has dark vision.
Alright, and I grabbed Bungdo instead.
Now
did
you're
tell
really...
you- I told you that there were ghosts, so you do know there are ghosts.
You're going to have some back problems if you're touching Bungdo. 'Cause you got
What?
It's a almost 7-foot tall dragonborn trying to hold on to a gnome.
That's kinky.
You're like literally walking around bent over.
Why are these stupid ghosts so far away? From each-
All right. So, Maya, what are you doing in this dark cave with screaming women?
And Dragonborn.
I take Maya's hand and point to the one that is in silence,
Okay.
and I say, right there.
Okay.
What?
How far away?
Like 35 feet.
Okay, can I take one of my daggers and throw it in that general direction?
Okay. It's definitely going to be with disadvantage.
It's okay, because I already had disadvantage because it's higher than 20 feet.
-10.
Throw your dagger in that general direction.
Yeah, I don't hit.
Yeah, no, you just hear ricochets off the stone somewhere.
Well, I'll try again. I feel like that also doesn't hit, but we'll see.
I
Hit the ghost with a dart.
I did take off the hand that was not holding me, so if I start running, I won't lose you.
Okay.
All right. So you throw your dart and you hear nothing.
I think that was good.
Since I'm leading Maya, and technically this is happening at the same time, could she move on my turn with me so that she won't lose me?
Can I hold my movement when she moves?
I
Can
mean,
you hold a movement?
I mean, technically you can't, but
Can't
I mean,
you
I guess-
ready to move forward?
no, you can't because it's not an. Well, sorry, you can if you're gonna dash as an action. The only thing you can ready is an actual action. But since she already attacked, that's gonna be her action.
Can I hold a bonus action?
A bonus movement action.
Bonus movement action.
No. I can spend a key point to take a disengage or dash action as a bonus action on my turn. So if I can hold a bonus action, I can spend a key point and
Technically, you can't do that, but for narrative purposes, I think it makes sense that you'd be able to
hold a movement.
like head up with her, you know, kind of
Okay.
guiding you. So, yeah, if it makes sense, I'll let it happen, and I think it makes sense.
Okay. I mean, it will be a problem this turn because I'm ahead of her. So. Okay. Cool.
Well, I was just more thinking of like when I move and then on your turn you'll be like, well, she's gone, I don't know where to go.
Yeah.
She runs face first into the wall.
Mhm.
Like, over here.
Roll
got
a
it.
d6, go in whatever direction that tells you.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Well then, yeah, I'll move when Lilith moves.
Okay.
Which we have a pretty wide range of values.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Togar.
I'll what the I will say I'll whisper behind me, somebody get a torch. And did I see what happened to the dart that she threw at that guy? Or at that girl?
Yeah, you did. It embedded itself in the ghostly form. Didn't seem to do as much damage as you might expect.
So I'll whisper back, magical weapons, guys. Use magical weapons. And then I will throw my
I
magical
would if
dagger.
I could do hand-to-hand combat.
I'll throw my dagger at this one.
Okay.
My dagger +1.
Okay.
And I'm going to miss.
You are going to miss. And it clatters across the ground, but you can't hear it. You just see it kind of skidding.
Can I call it back and do it again, or?
Sure.
Alright. Nope. I'm just gonna
Burn floor.
What was that?
Once again, it just silently slides across the cavern floor.
I'll say, sweet, I scored 2 hits. And then that'll end my turn.
Okay.
Actually, I want to hunker a little bit closer here.
Okay. Lilith, what are you doing?
I'm gonna hit that one outside of the silence that's closest to me.
Okay.
A 21 and a nat 1.
Well, a 21 hits.
10 damage.
Okay.
Alright, come on, Maya.
And this is Eldritch Blast, I assume?
Yeah.
Okay. So it does seem to take the full amount of that damage.
As we, right as we enter the silence, I'm like, you can't speak anymore.
Okay. And that's it, yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
I follow her.
Okay. So...
I'm curious, was I able to move up with Togar, or did he even move?
He, moved 5 feet to one side.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I guess you could do that if you want.
I just hugged the wall.
Put Togar on my shoulders and he can guide me. And throw his daggers.
I would be okay with this. I would allow this.
Okay. Sure, why not? Okay. So that brings us to these ghostly creatures. You see the one, those of you with dark vision see the one that's in the silent field open its mouth wide and seemingly attempt to scream, but no effect. The next one that Lilith had just targeted, you can see, again, those of you who can see, the features of this thing become somehow even more horrific. Like the mouth distends, almost Bodak-like. Razor sharp teeth now visible inside the gaping mouth of the thing. The eyes go from a dull glowing white to a burning red, and it doesn't let out a sound, but it just stares seemingly into all of your souls at once. And I need anyone who has dark vision to make a wisdom saving throw.
Man, that level 15
Nat
rogue ability
20.
would be nice.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
That +3 from Paladin would have been.
Yeah, sure would be cool, huh? So you said a nat 7. What's that with your modifier?
No, I said 20.
Oh, nat 20. Okay. Then yeah,
Why
you're
would
good.
I say a not 7.
I don't know. That's why I was confused. I'm like, why are you just telling me you rolled a 7? Okay. So, yes, you both make it, some by really, really close margins. Okay. And you guys get some bling on your tokens here, so give me 1 second.
So do I feel anything try to, like any gripping bit of fear, and I'm like, no, fuck that.
More or less. You kind of get the sense that the thing was just trying to get you into a state of pure terror.
Okay. Yep. Okay.
Okay.
I'm pulling a Sam Riegel. Yep. Okay.
Yeah,
Is that a critical roll, guy?
Yes.
it is. Let's see. The third one is then going to do a thing. It is going to begin kind of hovering toward the group. Reaching that point. And given that it can't really do much
That
of
one?
anything else, it's going to keep going. Okay, and that's going to be its whole turn because it has to basically dash to get there. All right, brings us to Bungdo. Who? Well, at least he can see. So he is going to saunter his gnome self up here to a good angle of attack. And gonna use his signature move.
And Trogdor can see for half a second. Oh god!
Yeah, no, why did it roll again? Why you do this? But anyway, I'm gonna take the first one, because, first one. And, okay. So, the one that had just kind of closed in on Maya and Lilith here erupts in flame. And I guess, Maya, you would see now, right in front of you, like 5 feet away, there's just this whoosh flash of fire as you see this, like, ghostly female form outlined for just a second.
Cool.
Okay, and Bungo's just gonna, like, dust himself off the shoulder a little bit, and that'll be it for his turn. So, Trogdor, in the dark, what are you doing?
I want to pick Togar up, put him on my shoulder, and then just have my shield and flail ready.
Okay. Okay, so then that'll bring us back around to Maya.
Okay, I saw one right in front of me, so I am just gonna try and kick it.
Okay.
Do I still have disadvantage?
You do, because you still can't see.
But at least I know where it is.
You do know where it is. Or you know where it was just a second ago.
Ooh.
Whiff.
Yeah, that's not good. Well, in that case, I am going to try and extend my reach with my quarterstaff.
Okay.
Okay, getting a feeling where it is.
Yeah, and you swing and you feel your staff kind of like, almost as though it's going through water. It kind of slows down, but doesn't stop. And you probably did some damage to it.
Okay, I'm gonna try and punch it then.
Okay.
Because I have a magical attack with my fists.
Nice. And punch it you do. for 10 points of magical bludgeoning damage. Not bad. And this whole thing is eerily silent as you're just in the field of silence. You just extend your fist out and you feel it connect, and like you know this thing is probably reacting somehow, but it's a
It's a
you
bit
have no
off-putting.
idea. Yeah, no sight, no sound, just darkness.
What kind of smell?
Maya has her eyes closed.
Might as well.
Yeah, while she's just kind of like looking to make sure, like she can't hear anything, so she's trying to see if she can. So when she realizes she can't hear anything either, she'll open her eyes.
You
Oh
can't
my
see
gosh.
or hear anything. Oh my god. That's sensory deprivation.
And I can't talk.
Yeah.
Literally,
What have
the
I
only
done
thing
to
I
you?
can do is feel and smell.
I'm sorry.
Well, I guess and taste.
Yeah, you can taste. If you wanna taste a banshee, you can do that.
Taste the banshee.
Instead of the rainbow?
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, Togar.
So am I where I am, or am I where Trogdor is?
Let's say you're where Trogdor is.
Cool. I'm gonna step here then. So. Oh, perfect. I'm gonna look at this one and say, darling, I'd do this to you, but you're too far away. So I'm gonna look at the one that's face up on Maya, and I'm gonna say, you'd be a lot more beautiful if you just laughed. And I'm gonna cast Hideous Laughter.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay. Wisdom save.
He just starts cackling, but you can't hear anything.
Yeah,
It
that's an
falls
11.
prone. Oh yeah, no, that's a 14 save. So it falls prone laughing.
Silently laughing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And it's incapacitated and unable to stand up for a minute. So,
All right.
and I kind of nudge Trogdor ahead, and I'll say, take about 2 steps forward and hug the wall. And then that'll end my turn.
Can you
Oh,
control? Like a
And, then,
speed?
and as a bonus action, I want to turn around and say, Bungdo, light a torch or something. Give Trogdor some light. Let him see. And then
Okay.
off my turn.
All right.
Why is there Tosh's Hideous Laughter and Hideous Laughter?
I don't know.
It's probably an SRD thing. Like they probably couldn't use the name of, like the full name of the spell with the basically free to use D&D stuff. Yeah. Anyway, Lilith, what are you doing?
Oh, I just went back to roll 20 and see this weird little icon on the ghost.
Yep, it is prone laughing.
Okay, well, I'm gonna attack that one up there again.
Okay.
16 and a 24.
Okay, so to clarify, you are using Eldritch Blast, a ranged spell attack, when you're in melee, right?
No, I'm hitting the one away from us.
Doesn't matter. As
Yeah,
long
I
as
know,
you're
but you're still in
it's
melee.
It's still disadvantage.
Fine. Then it's... What did I say
But that
at
does
first?
hit. 16 on a 24, I think.
Yeah, those will hit. But, well, the one will hit, I should say. But, yeah, so go ahead and roll another 2 for your next attack.
16 again.
Okay.
14 damage.
Alright.
Damn.
That's it.
Okay, so yeah, that one's kind of slowly piling up the damage as well. Worth noting that the one that's rolling around silently laughing in front of Maya is probably looking the roughest of the bunch.
Yep.
That's super creepy.
But I can't see it.
It's true.
It's so sad too.
All right. So, I guess we'll start from the top and work our way down. So, top one is going to do a thing.
Oh boy.
All right. It first is going to close on the
Wait.
group a bit.
Did Bungdo make his save last time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he did.
because-
Yeah, I should give him a dot.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
Yep. Okay. So this thing's gonna move up. And then it is going to open its mouth and let out a wail. And what that means is, as it is screaming bloody murder, I need those of you who are outside the silence field to make Constitution saves.
I'm in it, correct?
Yes.
You are in
Okay.
it.
Because
Where am
it's
I?
not marked, so I don't know.
Oh, well, it is marked. You
Yeah,
just can't see that either.
exactly. It's not marked on my screen.
Yeah. To give you an idea, it's centered around something like this, just for mechanical.
I can see the
standpoint.
arrow.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Thank you.
All
Yep.
right.
So did I die?
Yep, you died.
Wait, can I use inspiration on that?
You could.
I don't know if I would.
Alright, I'll let it slide.
Okay. You make a save for Bungdo. Okay.
Before I'm feared and I carry Togar away into the darkness.
At that point,
Oh
you would
gosh.
drop me.
Okay. So, as the scream kind of dies down, a couple things happen. First of all, Togar, you feel the sensation of dropping
Yep.
as Trogdor collapses under you.
Okay.
You also hear a softer thud behind you as Bungdo goes down.
Okay. Being that I'm sitting on him, is he still breathing?
Yes, he is still breathing, but he is fully unconscious.
Right. Okay. He let go of me though, too, right? Like he's not. I'm not being held underneath.
Yeah,
him.
no, he just went limp under you. So yeah, he like tips over, and you're able to kind of jump off. And I'd say if you want, you can move to an adjacent space.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just kind of jump off and land there.
Okay.
I inadvertently got teabagged on the way down.
A little bit. Just once.
All right. So then the other one can't do anything but make a save at the end of its turn. Which it rolls a 3 on.
Yep.
Um,
That does not
okay.
pass.
Right. And then the bottom one is going to just reach out with its long, slender hand toward Lilith. And it is going to hit you with its corrupting touch. An 18 to hit. I think that hits, right? Yeah, and you take 20 points of necrotic damage.
Okay.
Damn.
And that's going to be it for them. Oh, gosh, I hope Bungdo doesn't die when he's not here.
Oh boy.
Let's see what we got here. Okay.
Good.
Trogdor. Death save.
Wait, I lost all my health?
Yep.
Yeah. You are unconscious on the ground.
Oh, shit.
I didn't think it was gonna be that bad, but
Just listen to my gut. Nat 20.
oh, you're up.
And he's up.
You have 1 health. He falls down,
Alright.
and then I just kind of feel an arm reach up and grab me.
Okay. So yeah, Trogdor kind of groggily climbs to his. Well, he doesn't climb to his feet yet, but he's awake. All right. Maya, what are you doing?
Well, I have no idea where the down people are, or that they are down.
Yeah, you wouldn't have heard it or seen it.
You don't even hear cackling in front of you.
No, so assuming that there's someone still in front of me, I'm going to attack. Now, they're 5 feet away from me and prone, but I can't see that.
Ooh, so you'd be like
Prone
swinging
gives
in air.
them advantage. Prone gives me advantage.
Right. So
But
it's interesting from a story perspective, but
if
I'll
Lilith
let the
tells
mechanics
me
ride.
they're prone,
Lilith
then-
can't tell you shit. 'Cause
Yeah,
you're
yeah. Nobody can
silenced.
tell you things.
Yeah.
So-
she can grab my hand and point me down. You know?
Yeah, I'll let the mechanics ride on this one, and we'll say it evens out, so you're just making normal attack rolls.
Okay. Stomping on the ground.
Hopefully you kill it.
I'm waiting for her to kill it and then keep attacking it because she can't see that it's dead.
Sorry. You're gonna take that 11? Are you gonna take the 17? I can just keep rolling.
Yeah, go ahead and just make a normal roll.
There.
Yeah, I think that hits.
Okay.
And
So
it
the
makes
11
wisdom.
misses, but
What?
the
The 11 doesn't hit, but the next one hits.
correct.
And it has to make a
And-
wisdom saving throw
Mm-hmm.
with advantage.
That is a 12.
Nope.
Okay. Anything else from Maya?
Yeah, 1 second. I'm gonna hit it again. I'll, whatever, stomp on it.
Okay.
Curb stomp that.
Ouch.
And you miss.
Nope.
You just
2.
stomp the stone floor.
At least you didn't waste it on some crap rolls for damage.
Exactly.
Okay. Anything else?
Yeah. I'm gonna hit it one more time.
Okay.
There
Hey!
we go.
All right.
That
And
max damage
Yeah.
crit.
you stomp down on the thing and you just feel it turn to smoke under your foot.
And I lose
Aha!
concentration on my spell, right?
Yeah.
Cool. I'm good with that.
Okay. So, then Togar, what are you doing?
Well, seeing that Maya and Lilith have not been affected by whatever the fuck this thing just did, I'm gonna kind of like, I'm gonna say, Trogdor, Tenda Bungdo, stay down though. And I'm going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get next to Maya, because I don't necessarily know that there's a silence field. I just know that being by them, it doesn't appear to affect anything.
Yeah.
And I'm going to kind of like grab Maya's hand, like the arm that's close to me, and kind of point it out towards the outside where this thing is. And then I'm going to immediately kind of like duck underneath and whip a dagger at this.
Okay,
So, come on, hit. Yes!
that's a hit.
Do I get sneak attack?
Yeah.
Haha!
Okay.
All right.
Is the one with an X on it dead?
Yes.
It is.
And I'll say I grabbed Maya's arm with like a bonus action or whatever.
Yeah, she squished it.
So I throw my magical dagger and stick it in the side of that screamy thing.
There you go. And again, you just throw it and there's no sound, just connects. Yeah. Okay. Anything else?
I want to open my mouth and just say hello.
Nothing.
Okay, I just kind of, you see me nod my head, and then that's all.
Okay.
I now know that it's a silence field.
All right. So yeah, Lilith, the one above you is dead. The one to your right just got a dagger thrown at it, and there's other stuff going on. Trogdor is currently lying on his back on his face on the ground, I should say. As is Bungdo.
They're both unconscious?
Yep.
I'm not.
But she doesn't know that.
How close does that one up top look like it's about to dying?
The two of them are pretty similar. They're like, I'll just use game terms. They're a little over half health, each of them.
Well, I think you're the only one that hit the one up top anyway. So.
Alright. Well, I don't want to because he's good, but if Lilith wouldn't know that he's awake, she would go try to help them.
Take that attack of opportunity.
Yeah.
Just one.
It's a 15 to hit.
Yeah.
Are you bringing me with you?
I kind of got one of your arms, and Lilith has the
do.
other.
I take your hand and I point and I say, right there.
Okay. And then you leave me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm standing right next to you. I grabbed your arm.
And she gets hit for 10 necrotic damage as she walks away.
Okay, so I got passed from, Lilith to Togar.
Kinda. Okay. So yeah, as soon as you leave the silence field, you can hear that they are both still breathing. And you can probably now see Trogdor like just beginning to attempt to haul himself up.
I like roll my eyes. Ugh, alright. And then I point to that one I've been hitting up top, and I'm gonna blast him.
Okay.
And this time I don't get disadvantage. Haha. 12 and 14.
Those both hit.
Uh, 14 damage.
Okay. Cool. So yeah, you kind of blast the thing, and yeah, it's looking rough. Probably another couple hits like that, and it'll no longer be a threat.
Alright, that's it.
Okay. All right. So the one that you just attacked is still kind of like reeling in its jaw from the scream that you didn't hear, but that's what KO'd Bungdo and Trogdor. And as it kind of reshapes its face to something semi-normal, it's going to go ahead and close on Lilith. And try and reach out.
The silence is gone. I forgot to make my concentration save.
Ah.
Oh, the silence is gone.
Yeah, I didn't make a save.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. Anyway, it floats toward you, reaches out with its bony-looking finger, and rolls a 21 to hit. So you take 16 necrotic damage.
Damn.
Lilith hurt.
Lilith needs to stop taking opportunity attacks.
Fine, she'll just let her friends die.
Do it.
Alright.
I kill cultists, not my friends.
Wait for my friends. I'll say it since Phil's not here.
Alright. So then those of you with dark vision can see the lower one here on the map is going to drift toward Maya and reach out and kind of claw at her with its spectral hands. That is a 15 to hit.
No.
So somehow Maya just can sense it coming. Maybe you feel like the kind of cold aura emanating from the fingers as they reach out just past you. You kind of duck out of the way at the last second.
You feel me get
My
tense and
senses
lean
are
away.
finally attuned.
Yeah, you're getting your Jedi on. Okay. And that's going to be it for that one. Bungdo gets to make another death save. One and one.
Damn. Alright.
Trogdor, you are conscious, kind of still on your face, prone on the ground. What are you doing?
Can I try and crawl to where I last saw that fireball go by before I went down?
Yeah, so you're trying to find Bungdo?
I did
Yeah.
kind of say where he was as soon as I...
Yeah. Yeah, you're not all that far away, so it's easy enough to kind of like sweep your arm around and find like a little gnome foot. He's
Smacks it.
actually he's in a space like diagonal from you right now, so very close.
Smacks
Okay.
it and fails the death save.
Oh, please.
I'm kidding.
I hope not.
I'm joking.
I guess I'll attempt my medicine check on him.
Okay.
Wish Bungo luck.
Yes!
All right.
Ooh.
So,
I was worried about getting a nat 1 and killing him.
yeah, I mean it's hard because you don't like sense any wounds or anything on his body, but you know, you just do what you can. Maybe
DPI.
you know, kind of like wad up his cloak under his head and just make him comfortable. Make sure there's not any kind of incidental injuries resulting from him falling on his face. And yeah, Bungdo is stable.
You hear as Bungdo rolls over and kind of curls up. He's now asleep instead of, like, not dying.
Yeah, you hear him begin to snore a little bit.
Yeah. Yes.
As
Okay.
a sigh of relief, I want to just try and pray, try and reestablish some kind of connection to Bahamut.
Okay.
Feeling lost and useless without his gifts.
All right. Yeah, so that's going to be Trogdor's turn. And that'll bring us to Maya. You just felt this kind of cold, wispy thing reach out towards you and just narrowly miss.
Okay, figuring out that I know where it is, I am going to try and hit it with my quarterstaff.
Mm-hmm.
In an attempt to do something special.
Something special. Ooh.
Does it hit?
I mean, you are still rolling with disadvantage.
Oh, dang it. Does that hit?
It does not.
Oh, I'm gonna try again. That
There you
hit.
That hits. So you swing your quarterstaff once and whiff. It might actually kind of like graze because you were one shy of the AC. And then the second one, you swing it back around to where you think you kind of felt some contact, and just whoosh. Okay, so that's 11 points of damage.
That's what I'm doing. And then I'm gonna stomp on it.
That's an 11 on the save.
That fits.
Okay.
Yeah, mine's above 11. 14, so.
Okay.
And I'm gonna stomp on it.
Technically,
All
that's not. Wait, is it? If it's stunned, that's advantage, right? And then disadvantage.
It
So-
hits,
Yeah.
whether it's 27 or 13.
Oh,
So.
does it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So that hits.
Oh, I was
And-
thinking you crit on a 27.
No,
Okay.
on the 28.
Okay. So yeah, it seems to be stunned, and those of you who can see it see that it's having trouble holding itself together. Is that it for Maya?
Yep.
Togar.
Right. I'm going to kind of like let go of Maya's hand and say, "Lilith's in trouble. I'll be right back." And I'm gonna one, two, and I'm going to just literally like run and jump and like try to stab at it with my dagger.
Okay. That's gonna hit. And that is gonna drop it.
So essentially, what you see is Lilith sees Togar run and jump and just stab the thing and just continue flying through it as it dissipates.
I think of like a Superman punch, but with
That's
that dagger
basically
out.
what I'm doing, is like running in
Yeah.
like football dive, trying to get it in the end zone. Except the end zone disappears and I just kind of fly through it.
All right.
So,
Yeah. So that's 2 down and 1 stunned.
can I come up in a roll and turn and launch my dagger back at the one by Maya?
Yeah. Give it a shot.
Alright.
Yeah. That's gonna hit.
Alright. I don't get sneak attack though, because I already got
Right.
it. So. And you just see Togar do the most badass thing he's ever done. And he looks so proud. And that
Yeah,
ends
you
my turn.
chuck the dagger and it sticks in the thing. Still there, but like kind of flickering almost. All right, Lilith.
If it's stunned, will it get disadvantage on a dex save?
It doesn't get it.
Probably. That would make sense to me. Looking it up.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you want me to grab my book? 'Cause I think if it's stunned, I don't think it gets a dex save. It's just an auto fail.
Automatically fails strength and dex saves.
Cool. Then a fire erupts underneath it.
Okay.
Bonfire.
Yeah. 8 damage.
Ooh, and there's light. People can see things.
Hey, there's the
I
light.
can see.
Wait, why didn't you do
The
this
front
all
of
along?
fire just erupts in flames.
I'm kind of blinking rapidly and shielding my eyes.
All right. Yeah, so it is still there, like barely kind of maintaining its form, but it's just cooking over this bonfire now. All right. Cool. So that's it for Lilith, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then this thing is stunned until the end of Maya's turn, so nothing doing there.
Did it end its turn there?
It did end its turn there.
It gets turned into a roast bitch.
7 damage.
And it just turns into smoke and dissipates in the still cave air. Okay. And so we're out of initiative.
Oh, look at Lilith. Can you keep that up for a bit?
Yeah, I guess.
Well,
She's low on health.
yeah. Well, we probably should bring Bungdo and...
We're not gonna keep looking at the map.
We're out of combat.
Oh, that auto music though.
Well, that was insane.
Becca, I can never hear what you say because you don't press to talk.
You're not pressing.
Well, I didn't hear you.
It's not going through. No.
Just broke it.
No.
I hear it.
I see it lighting up, but you're just... Maybe your Discord has lost the source?
Is it authenticating still? Okay.
She's in on mine.
Yeah, it'll show her in, but she's still waiting on the client side for it to authenticate.
Oh, that's weird. Maybe they're having Discord issues or something.
I've been lagging from time to time as well, where you all sound pixelated for me, but I know you guys can still hear each other fine.
That happens every once in a while with Becca. She's usually the only one. Nope. She just straight up close it.
Oh, Mike died.
Hooray for technical difficulties.
I'm glad it didn't happen during the fight.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Like, it literally waited to die just before the... or till just after the fight.
But I so you're not doing it.
Yeah, I was just asking you to do that so I could see if it was like showing that you were attempting to or not, because I hadn't been looking at that.
I hear it.
Yeah, it is showing her attempting to talk.
Not for me.
Not now, it's not, but when she pushes the button, it does. There. Whoop.
Yes.
Just white noise, I think.
See, I heard her for a split second too.
I think you're hearing her through someone else's mic.
Well, no,
Yeah.
no. I mean, I heard like a mic noise, like mic activated. I don't know.
Boys, just end the session. It is now.
About now.
Yes.
Hey!
Okay. That's cool.
What was it?
I unplugged my headset and plugged it back in.
Driver crash.
Yep.
You can still hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Alright, so yeah, you are now in this cave, having just fought off these spectral creatures. Everyone seems to be alive and stable if they're not conscious. So, what's the plan?
Get the unconscious people conscious?
Well, it's just Bungo.
It would take a healing spell or number of hours.
Yeah, unfortunately, the 4 of us who are conscious don't have healing spells, I don't think. at least other
Do-
healing spells.
Do we want to just take a short rest? The Raven can watch. I don't really want to take a long rest.
Or should we go out and get some torches and come back in?
Like explore farther.
Like I'm saying, should we go outside, see if they have torches somewhere out there, and then...
I mean, I have torches in the bag of holding.
She has bonfires as well.
Why didn't you use them?
Why
I
didn't she use
figured we were
bonfire?
trying to be sneaky. And then in the heat of battle is not the right time to be lighting torches. But yeah, I pull a torch out of my pack.
Okay.
Light it in the bonfire?
I mean, I have flint too. I can just light it.
Yeah, but lighting in the bonfire is cooler.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
Can
chain
I
smoking.
use my, I don't know, herbalism kit or alchemist supplies to try and give Bungdo a hit point?
Are you gonna torture him?
Yeah.
No, that's my job. I'm gonna throw a dagger into his kneecap.
Okay. Yeah, I'd let you make a check for that. Actually, I'll make the check because that's how this is gonna be.
Herbalism kit?
Mhm. So, what's the modifier that you'd be using off of
6.
Don't kill him.
that?
I can't roll lower than a 7, so I shouldn't be able to kill him.
You'd be surprised.
All right. So yeah, you kind of whip something together in the newfound light, and
Give it to Trogdor first. Let him be the test.
and you kind of feed it to Bungo, and doesn't seem to be having any effect.
Okay. No negative or positive.
Correct.
Well, I tried.
So we'll give some to Trogdor. See if it helps him.
I give the rest to Trogdor.
What should I do with this?
Drink
Smoke
it.
I guess I'll drink it. Nervously.
And the worst that happens is you get.
Yeah, it's like a green smoothie kind of thing. Kind of bitter, little chunky in places. Doesn't really seem to help or hinder in any way.
We're all just staring expectantly at Trogdor.
Don't feel anything.
No gas, nothing?
I try and force one out. No.
Does he poop?
Not if he doesn't want to.
Hopefully not.
He does not poop himself. Alright. Well, we gotta kind of hang around here and wait for Bungdo to get up anyway.
No, even though I know I'm disconnected from Bahamut, I want to hold my holy symbol in one hand and take out a vial of holy water in the other and kind of try and like pray over Bungo's unconscious body and just kind of like gently pour some holy water on his forehead, hoping it would heal him.
Okay. Yeah, you do that. You say your prayer, splash a bit of the holy water on him, and it doesn't seem to have any effect.
I commit seppuku. No,
I'm gonna inspect the immediate area, like just maybe just outside the light, but I'm not gonna go outside of Lilith's vision. I just want
Okay.
to see if they were like guarding anything, or if they were just hanging out here.
All right. So yeah, a little kind of deeper down this passage of the cavern, you see it narrows a bit to a point where it gets to be only about 15 feet across before opening up into another large chamber. From the entrance of this chamber, you can see, let's see, the entire floor seems to be covered in some sort of fine gray substance, like a powder of some sort. And there's a smell of decay, almost like rancid meat. And looking around, you can actually see a few little nuggets of atrocious-looking, decomposing scraps of meat.
You said the floor is coated in like a fine powder.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use Mage Hand and scoop some of it up and bring it over to me and see what it is.
Okay. Yeah, so you do that. Hand makes its way back over to you, and looking at it, it seems to be ash.
Does it smell like it's at all using the same, like using any of the same powders that I use for my weapon? Like, is there any black powder mixed in?
Not really, no.
I'm gonna go over and just take Mage Hand over and like very gently kind of like dump it on the corner of the fire. I just want to see if it ignites or does anything, or if it just is ash.
All right. Seems to respond like normal ash would.
Okay. I'll say that other we probably don't want to go in that room. It's covered in ash and rotten body parts and stuff. It's kind of nasty. But I'm gonna go take a, huh?
Did we deviate from our right, left?
No.
No, this was your first right.
I'm gonna go just take a closer look. I'm not gonna go into the room, and Lilith, I'll stay in your eyesight. I just want to take a look.
I go with him, and I'm using Detect Magic.
Okay. So how far does Togar want to go then if Lilith is accompanying?
I'm not gonna go into the room, but I'll go to the edge of the room and see.
Okay.
I see anything special, anything different?
Let's see what you see. Not really. It just kind of opens up into this, from your vantage point, kind of endless cavern.
Alright. Is one of the chunks of meat within Mage Hand distance?
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick it up and kind of bring it a little closer. Just inspect it, see if I can figure out what type of meat it is.
Okay. Go ahead and make a nature check. Alright, this looks to be some kind of humanoid. Maybe a scrap of like forearm flesh or something.
But is it like, does it look like, is it red or is it green, or like what color?
Having been dropped in the ash and just having been sitting here decomposing for some time now, it's got this kind of grayish green tint to it.
Do I see any bones nearby?
There are a few kind of pieces scattered about.
Any skulls?
Not that you can see, no.
Okay. I'll say, Lilith, what do you think this is? And I'm not gonna bring it like right up in her face, but I'll kind of bring it up close to her. So what do you think this is meat from?
I guess
What
Lilith
was
can. It looks like a piece of like forearm meat from some kind of humanoid.
It looks like a person.
Think it's from a human or a person?
Can I do a check on it?
Yeah, make a nature check. Actually, you can go ahead and make a nature check with advantage.
Oh boy.
It
4.
Oh.
looks familiar, but yeah, no, not sure.
You said this was like a big cavernous opening, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna send the Raven out like 100 feet, and then if the Raven can't see, I'm gonna do a bonfire up to 60 feet out.
All right, so let's see. 100 feet out with the Raven.
In the meantime, I'm gonna just pray for forgiveness.
Okay. So at that 100-foot mark, you can just barely begin to make out another fork in the path. It seems to go right or left. You can't really see what's down either of those paths yet, though.
Well, there's another fork. Do you want to keep going or do you want to wait?
Well, we probably should wait for Bungdo, and I have some sort of thought that might help. I just kind of like look over and realize the mage hand's still holding it. I just kind of throw the meat back into the cavern and dismiss mage hand. And I'll say, I gotta go take a look at Maya for something. And I'll start walking back to... Is the fire still back where they are too? Or did that go out when you moved it?
That would go out.
Oh.
Or wait, did I have to make a bonfire for the Raven?
No, I'm kind of giving it like low-grade dark vision. So yeah, you'd basically be able to see about as far as, say, Togar would from the Raven's eyes.
Okay, so yeah, the bonfire by them is still going.
Alright,
Okay.
I'll walk back over to them and walk up to Maya and say, hey Maya, bend down here. I wanna take a look at something. I wanna kinda like
I want to
examine...
cook up some dinner.
Go for it.
In the meantime, while they were gone, I was flipping through notes. I have something important. In like 1.5 hours, I can have another health potion ready.
Okay, yeah, we can...
So if Bungdo doesn't wake up by then, I can give that to him.
I'm gonna take a short rest. Just get down here on my level, Maya, so I want to check out your head. I'm not gonna do anything bad. I just need to inspect your head.
I lean down.
Well, I mean, just sit down, do your thing. I need to take some measurements.
I go and watch what he's doing.
Okay, I get out
basically
the.
Go ahead.
I get out, bag of holding and appropriate supplies and start working on my health potion.
I pull out a piece of string out of my pocket and I'm like kind of measuring, around Maya's head, basically, like essentially measuring for a hat. And just kind of measuring, and then I write it down. Just kind of approximately, and I'll make like a little mark on the string. I'll just go sit in the corner and kind of mull over this little book that I have, that I've picked up. If you were watching like over my shoulder, you'd see I have the sketching of the gun in there. Another page or two, I have just different breakdowns of the gun and how it's assembled, that kind of stuff. And I have a new one that looks like some sort of glasses, but that's about all you can tell. So
I was gonna say that I go and creep over your shoulder.
yeah,
That's what you see.
Yeah. I'm not being secretive about it or anything like that. I'm just kind of going off to where I can kind of have a little quiet and think. But you see me scribbling the dimensions that I just measured out at the top of the paper. But as I said, the design does not look at all complete. It just looks like a pair of glasses right now.
I point to the drawing. What contraption are you cooking up now?
Well, Maya can't see very well. I'm trying to figure out how you or I can see in the dark and make it so that Maya can see in the dark.
Well, if you make Maya having grown up underground, then she'll see in the dark. 'Cause
Well,
that's how I see in the dark.
yes, but there are certain stones and certain surfaces of, alchemical pieces that you can look through, such as a spyglass. You can look through and see for greater distance. There has
What's
to be.
a spyglass?
But what?
What's a spyglass?
You've never seen a spyglass? It's an awesome thing. It's this little tube, and I'm not, just to save time, I'm not going to actually explain it out, but Togar explains what a spyglass is, and how it's using a series of lenses to redirect the image that you see and make it appear bigger so you can see farther distances. I'm trying to take that idea and use a little bit of magic and see if I can imbue a set of glasses for Maya to be able to see in the dark.
Lilith is amazed because she had no idea what a spyglass was.
Maya likes this idea.
So, I haven't quite figured it all out yet, but I guess since you all know, I'll walk back over and say, well, since you guys all know about it, yes, that is what I'm doing. I was going to snag your bag of holding and try to recreate that, but we've already got one and maybe a second. So I think this might be a little more useful. So, but as I said, I'm still working on it. I still have to design much more to it, but
Well, you're a wonderful inventor. I'm sure you'll figure it out.
it's just I'm trying to figure out what compound is used as a lens to allow you to see in the dark. That's the one thing that's got me hung up. So. And then I'll just kind of go back to pondering, looking through my notes.
Okay. So, you guys kind of settling in for a rest then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would
Oh.
very much like to.
I'm gonna pray
Okay.
during the whole thing.
All right. Short rest.
1.6 hours.
1.6 hours.
Yeah,
Okay.
Maya's brewing her potion, so I'm just kind of
All right.
wandering around the cavern, kind of looking at things, just trying to get some inspiration from looking around in the cave to see if I can figure out what might help.
Okay. And there doesn't seem to be much in the way of anything like out of the ordinary, at least in this particular section of the cave. But yeah, I mean, you're able to kind of walk around.
It's more
Probably
pacing.
the areas that you've. Okay. Yeah, the areas that you've explored, and just think on it, I guess.
Yeah.
I rolled a 1 on my hit die.
You are 1 health better.
3 health. I have a +2 to my con.
Well, there you go.
Hey, I rolled a 1 too.
Well, there you go.
We match. You still got more than me though. Oh, but you have a D10.
Yes.
All right. So yeah, as you're all sitting there and doing a lot of healing up, from somewhere like way, way deeper in the cave, you think you can hear this like kind of low grunting sound, just roar, roar, just sporadic kind of, no real sense to it, but sounds like there's something or some things big down there somewhere.
Are they getting closer at all?
No,
Okay.
and you can only barely make out the sound, just because the sound is able to kind of carry through the reverberating cavern that you're able to pick up on it at all.
The Raven goes to investigate up to 500 feet.
Okay.
I can't see, but she can tell me, or when she comes back, she'll tell me what happened.
If she comes back. Dun, dun, dun.
All right. So, I mean, over this length of time, you could probably scope out a lot of this cave. So, kind of going up to where the fork is, you can see that the one to the right terminates pretty quickly after about, another 50, 60 feet. And you see similar figures to what you saw right before the Banshees, but a little different. Kind of floating humanoids, spectral. Beyond that, down the leftmost path, it's not long before there's another fork, and you can kind of either go straight or right. Straight ahead, you can see a large chamber with a stone pillar kind of in the center of it. To the left of the pillar, you can see kind of just standing there looking off into space, 6 large forms, like built like massively obese humanoids, all just kind of standing there with dull looks on their faces, lots of wounds kind of covering their bodies. On the right side of the pillar, you can see a pair of similarly sized creatures. It's kind of just at the cusp of the range of the Raven's vision, but they just look like large, kind of arguably spherical shapes just hovering about. And
Did you say spherical shapes?
yeah. And there's some kind of writing on the wall off to the right, but you can't really make it out from here.
Okay, I tell everyone what she saw. Oh, and it's 5 miles. I lied, not 500 feet.
Oh.
A little bit more.
Okay, well then it's kind of a question of how far do you want to go, because there's a lot.
I'd probably stop when I saw those guys.
Okay. So yeah, ghostly humanoids, large, beat-up, overweight things, and hovering spherical things kind of in the distance.
Did those hovering spherical things look like they had spaghetti noodles hanging out from underneath them?
What's spaghetti?
It's a special type of noodle from Thogladar. Like they're just little dangly noodles.
If you guys listen to
They're delicious.
Yes.
If you guys listen to Sneak Attack, I could make a Sneak Attack reference. Sneak Attack reference.
But did they
Dwarves
appear to
aren't
have
that.
noodles off of them?
Did they appear to have noodles on them?
It was kind of hard to make out from that distance. I mean, it looked like there was something moving kind of on their surface, but you're not sure. I mean, it could have been tentacles, it could have been worms, like the other infested things you've seen. They weren't entirely stable in their profile. I guess I could tell you that much.
How far off the ground were they floating?
Varying heights. One of them was probably about 3 feet up, the other maybe 10.
Alright, I will sit down, and for the rest of the time, I will explain to Lilith a beholder. And I'll say that, I think you just witnessed a couple beholders. Those things are scary.
I feel like Lilith would know what a beholder is. Living underground her whole life.
That is possible.
I will attempt to explain a beholder. If you know what it is. Okay.
How would... Beholders are big eyes. How would a raven not see an eye?
I don't know. We fought an undead beholder in Thogladar.
Eric, if you make us fight 3 beholders, you're very rude.
But, yeah, I will explain that, yes, they shoot laser beams out of their eyes. Because I think that one, or out of the little eye things. Tentacles. Didn't that one do that?
Stalks.
Yeah.
Stalks.
Yes.
Eye stalks.
They are tentacles to Togar. But yes.
So you eat beholders' eye stalks?
I've never tried that, but I kind of would like to. Tell you what, if we kill one, you want to get me a bonfire and I'll cook it?
If we kill one, I will incinerate it in my bonfire.
But can I at least cook an eye stalk and try to eat it?
If you must.
Well, I mean, they're wiggly and they look like our Thogladarian spaghetti noodles. So, I wonder if they taste the same.
But it's also evil. Your noodles are not evil.
I've had some pretty evil noodles. It gave me bad gas.
And they're condescending.
But have they tried to kill you?
I thought I was gonna die once. Then I realized it was just some rotten noodles.
Anyways, has it been 1.6 hours yet?
Yeah, over that length of time, I'd say you guys could, scout out the area, have that conversation, and at about the 1 hour mark, Bungdo does come to. Just kind of.
Okay, well, I guess we'll wait another hour for him to use his hit dice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good of
And
you
I'll
to
just
join us.
hold on to my health potion and start working on a new one.
Okay. Let's see.
Is Trogdor awake?
Yeah. He's been awake from, his first hit die, first death save he made with a nat 20. So he was good.
Hey Trogdor, how are you with a set of cards?
I've never played before.
Well, let me teach you. And I try to start teaching Trogdor how to cheat at cards.
Okay.
I have more important things to do at the moment.
I sit
Like
down
what?
and I'm very interested.
Okay, I teach you instead.
I stick my newly made health potion in my pocket.
I have some mind to kind of dig in my bag and mage hand. While Lilith is teaching me, I'll conjure up mage hand and carry an empty vial over to Maya and give it to her.
Yep, health potion in the vial, in the pocket.
Well, I'm just giving you another empty vial.
Yeah, new vial. Yay. Start working on the next one.
You can make that hand invisible, right?
Yeah. Oh, I see what you're doing here. And I make the hand invisible, and I will pick up a card, and then kind of whisk it over to me. I'll say, I see what you're doing here.
Well, maybe don't make it so obvious.
I'll have to get a little better at that. But, yes.
So for an hour we just figure out new ways to cheat with your mage hand.
I'm good with this. Togar has needed some R&R and some screwing around after kind of banging his head against the wall with the goggles. Or glasses, or whatever.
Okay. Anything else you guys would like to do over your rest? Sounds like a no.
Nope.
So I guess we will pick it up at the end of that rest next time.